Welcome to Art Walk with Cassie. Sometime around the year 1500, a painter in the Netherlands completed a work that would confound and fascinate viewers for the next 5 centuries. It depicted paradise, human excess, and hell, spread across 3 hinged wooden panels, populated by creatures that seemed to come from somewhere entirely outside the natural world. The painter was Hieronymus Bosch, and that work, known today as the Garden of Earthly Delights, remains one of the most analyzed and debated paintings in the history of Western art. What makes Bosch so remarkable is not simply that his work is strange. What makes him truly remarkable is that he was, by all historical accounts, a perfectly ordinary man. Born around 1450 in the Dutch town of 's-Hertogenbosch, from which he took his name, he came from a family of painters, married well, and was a devout member of a respected Catholic brotherhood known as the Illustrious Brotherhood of Our Lady, a kind of elite religious guild in his hometown. He was, in short, a conventional and pious member of his community. And yet, when he turned to the canvas and picked up a brush, something else entirely emerged. While his contemporaries across Europe were painting serene Madonnas and measured biblical scenes governed by proportion and grace, Bosch populated his canvases with hybrid monsters, naked sinners, burning landscapes, and demons that seemed almost gleeful in their cruelty. He occupied a category that was essentially of his own invention. His major works form a loose trilogy of the human condition at its most extreme. The Temptation of St. Anthony depicts the desert saint besieged by grotesque supernatural forces, spiritual endurance rendered as visual chaos. The Last Judgment portrays the end of time not with solemn grandeur, but with a frantic energy, every corner of the canvas dense with consequence. And then there is the Garden of Earthly Delights, the triptych that stands above them all. The left panel shows Eden, God presenting Eve to Adam. The world still new. Move to the center and everything has opened up. A vast landscape filled with naked figures engaged in acts that are sensual, symbolic, and deeply ambiguous. The mood is suspended between pleasure and unease, as though something has already begun to go wrong. And on the right, hell, rendered not in vague shadow but in precise, inventive detail. Figures crucified on musical instruments, grotesque structures built from human suffering, darkness broken only by the glow of distant fires. The central question, of course, is what Bosch intended. Scholars have debated this for generations, without consensus. The most straightforward reading holds that his work is instructional, a moral warning about the consequences of sin in the tradition of medieval religious teaching. A second reading sees something more personal, a genuine preoccupation with chaos and human folly, the work of someone who viewed humanity with a mixture of pity and dark humor. Some have even proposed that Bosch was quietly subversive, hiding social and church criticism beneath imagery conventionally enough to avoid punishment. None of these readings has prevailed, because Bosch left no writings, no letters, no explanations of any kind. He painted in silence and died in 1516 without leaving any account of his intentions. That absence has only deepened the mystery. His legacy, however, has been substantial and enduring. Philip II of Spain became an obsessive collector of his work, which is why the Prado in Madrid holds the finest collection of his paintings today. Centuries later, the Surrealists recognized him as a predecessor. Dalí, among others, understood that Bosch had explored the irrational interior of the human mind long before Surrealism became a recognized artistic movement. His influence extends into fantasy illustration, horror cinema, and the work of directors like Guillermo del Toro, who has cited Bosch as a direct creative reference. What Bosch understood is that sin, fear, desire, and damnation are not orderly subjects, and he chose to represent them with a corresponding intensity. He was not decorating theology, he was illustrating what it might actually feel like to be caught inside it all. That instinct, to meet the chaos of human experience with equal visual force, is what separates him from nearly every artist of his era. 5 centuries later, his paintings remain genuinely difficult to exhaust. art historians continue to find new symbolic layers. Casual viewers continue to be stopped in their tracks. Hieronymus Bosch was a quiet, respectable man who painted the parts of human experience that are neither quiet nor respectable. That tension between the man and the work is what makes him one of the most compelling figures in the history of art. And 5 centuries on, we still don't fully understand what he was trying to say. Perhaps that is exactly the point. So much for today. I'm so glad you could make it. I'll see you soon. Take care.